In a world where average fades, only the relentless rise. You're stepping into a new standard. Strength, purpose, leadership. This is the Chad Miller Fitness Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Chad Miller here, and I want to tell you about a touchy spot in any successful person's journey. It's not the failure, it's not the setback, it's the first time you taste real success. Take this next part as a warning. The first summit you climb, that first big win, the moment when you finally break through, it can be a trap if you're not careful, and it's one a lot of people fall right into. You celebrate, you exhale, and you think, I made it, and that's exactly when the real battle begins. Success isn't the finish line. Success is the starting line for a completely different race. Today, I'm going to be talking about the drive to sustain success. Not just how to get there, but how to stay there. How to keep that winning advantage when everyone around you is telling you to relax and enjoy it. Here's that first trap to watch out for. I call it the summit trap. Let me paint this picture for you. You know Mount Everest? Climbing it is one thing. Surviving up there is something completely different. The air's thin, the weather's brutal, and every step takes everything you've got. That's exactly what sustaining success feels like. Getting to the top takes talent and determination, but staying there, that takes another gear. I'll give you a real example in my own life that taught me this the hard way. Here's what happened. One of my gyms finally hit profitability after months of grinding. I remember the exact moment, looking at those numbers and thinking, we made it. So do you want to know what I did? I relaxed. I didn't push the daily marketing as hard. I wasn't as consistent tracking the key metrics with my team. And within 3 months, the numbers started sliding. It was like watching sand slip through my fingers, and I realized something. The habits that get you there are the exact same habits that you need to stay there. I also realized that initial success is actually easier than sustaining it. When you're hungry, when you're climbing, every action has purpose. Every day matters. But once you reach that first summit, comfort starts whispering in your ear, you've earned this, you can coast a little. Comfort is the enemy that shakes your hand and tells you you've earned it. And I'm here to tell you, don't fall for that. The climb gets you noticed, but consistency makes you legendary. Now let's talk about the dopamine drop. What a lot of people don't understand about success, there are two types of dopamine hits. There's the trophy dopamine and the mastery dopamine. The trophy dopamine is that rush you get from winning, from crossing the finish line, from hitting that big goal. It's powerful and intoxicating, but it disappears faster than smoke in the wind. Mastery dopamine, that's different. That's the satisfaction you get from being 1% better every single day, from showing up when no one's watching, from improving your game when there's no audience to applaud. As an example, I remember one of my gyms being announced as Comeback Club of the Year finalist, and it was such an honor for us in our team, but after arriving back home from conference, the team and I felt empty. We felt hollow, and it seemed like all of us lost a little of that drive. That's when I learned the secret. Don't be addicted to the scoreboard, be addicted to the standard. I started tracking one small improvement every day for 60 days straight. An extra rep here, a better sales call there, a more focused conversation with my team. By day 60, the team and I were more fulfilled than any one single victory. We realized it wasn't about the recognition, it was about our standard. Because here's what champions know that wannabes don't. Winning once could be a little bit of luck, but winning again and again, that's discipline. Now let me tell you about something called the success leaks. Those are the little tiny compromises that slowly drain your competitive advantage without you even noticing. You want to know what they look like? It's the just this once I'll skip my morning routine, or I'll push that important call to tomorrow, or one late night won't hurt. These sound innocent, right? They're not. Standards don't die in a crash. They die in those little compromises, those just this once compromises. That's complacency disguised as stability. It looks like you're maintaining, but you're actually losing ground. Here's your solution. Have success leak detectors in place. These are your accountability systems, your non-negotiables, your early warning systems. For me, it's my calendar review every Sunday night. If I see gaps where discipline used to live, I know I've got a leak to plug. The moment you stop sharpening the blade, it starts to rust. Don't let that happen to you. Okay, next, here's a powerful tactic. Use pressure as a performance enhancer. This might sound counterintuitive, but hear me out. When you reach success, you need to manufacture pressure. You need to create your own high-stake moments. Pressure isn't the enemy, it's the furnace that creates greatness. Back in my fitness modeling days, the off-season was when most guys let their conditioning slide. Not me. I'd set up private photo shoot dates nobody knew about, personal lifting goals with deadlines that I only cared about. I created my own race when no one was chasing me or I didn't have anything on the calendar. Why? Because if no one's chasing you, you need to create a race. Here's how you do it. Set challenges with real consequences. Find friends who push your performance. Create deadlines that matter. Join masterminds where mediocrity gets called out. Put yourself in the game even when you don't have to. I still do this. When business is running smooth, when everything's clicking, that's exactly when I sign up for the next level of a challenge, a bigger goal, a tougher standard, a new arena where I'm the underdog again. Because growth lives where comfort dies. And if you're not growing, you're dying little by little. Now, shifting gears a little bit, using alignment as armor. Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You can win at business and lose at life. You can climb every mountain and miss what matters most. Every year, my wife and I take a look at faith, family, and focus. We check in on all of them. And in all reality, we should check in on these every quarter. But anyway, one year she looked at me and said, "You're winning in business, but losing presence at home." That stung, but it hit me. Because alignment isn't balance, it's all your cylinders firing in the same direction. Think of a race car. You just don't balance the engine. You tune it so every part works together for maximum performance over the long race. Here's your alignment check. Are you winning at what matters most? Or are you just winning at what's easiest to measure? You can't call it winning if you're losing at home. Or how's your faith? Your success means nothing if it costs you your soul. Check in on what matters most to you. When you're aligned, when your faith anchors you, your family fuels you, and your focus drives you, that's when you become unstoppable. Not just for a season, but for the long haul. Now, this is the perfect segue to talk about energy. Not burnout prevention, that's playing defense. I'm talking about energy fortification, playing offense with your fuel tank. Your calendar reveals your fuel source. Are you using the high octane or are you using the low grade fuel? Most people are running on fumes and wondering why they can't perform. Here's an awesome protocol that you can add to your arsenal. Add one high octane habit and subtract one low octane habit. It's really just simple math with compounding results that works in your favor. For me, I added 10 minutes of prayer before touching my phone each morning. Now, what did I subtract? I subtracted mindless social media scrolling before bed. That one swap made a huge difference. It created more clarity, less stress, and better decisions all day long. Guard your energy like oxygen, because without it, you'll suffocate every goal. Here are some high-octane habits: a morning routine, exercise, reading, meaningful conversations, and creative work. Now for some low-octane habits: watching the news, toxic relationships, busy work, complaining, and time wasters. Burnout isn't running out of energy, it's running out of reasons. When you're fortifying your energy instead of just managing it, you don't run out of reasons, you multiply them. Ask yourself, what's one swap you can make this week? All right, here's the final piece that separates the legends from the one-hit wonders. Your identity can't be tied to only winning. When a tornado ripped the ceiling off of one of my gyms earlier this year, I could have spiraled, but I didn't tie my worth to that building's success. My identity was built on being resourceful, resilient, and disciplined. Those are principles that survive any storm. Titles fade, trophies collect dust, but principles outlast them all. The strongest identity is the one that survives the storm. Build your identity on who you are, not just on what you accomplish, on your character, not just on your achievements, on your principles, not just your performance. Before closing, I want to give you something actionable. So here's your mission for this week. 3 things. Number 1, plug one leak. Find where you're compromising and raise that standard. Number 2, create one pressure point. Manufacture some stakes that matter. Get yourself in the game. And number 3, raise one alignment score. Get faith, family, or focus firing better. Go and take action on those. Remember, the drive to sustain success isn't about working harder, it's about staying focused. focused. Keep that edge, keep that hunger, keep that standard high. Until next time, this is Chad Miller reminding you, getting to the top takes talent and determination, but staying there takes more. It takes another gear. Now go make it happen. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
You just listened to the Chad Miller Fitness Podcast, where men rise with discipline, clarity, and action.